The language of the poor in Gen Z and millennials is very strongly around this idea of home ownership. And I heard it even in my generation of millennials because famously, we're the generation that complained about avocado toast and Starbucks coffee being not an issue for and unrelated to why we couldn't buy real estate. Like you can buy all the avocado toast you want and Starbucks and still not be able to buy a home, which is utterly garbage advice because, yes, that's exactly how you waste all your money is on these little cuts. But more so, I was a millennial and I bought a house when I was 25 years old. It's not impossible. It just takes a lot of work, which is not surprising. But the real issue with the language of the poor around this home ownership idea is that it's so much hate directed towards boomers and Gen X, when really at that time, what's crazy is in that generation, there are also language of the poor being like homes were too expensive when homes were $40,000 and homes were too expensive in 1990 when they were $300,000. Because you see here, inflation impacts every generation. So 300,000, yes, that sounds cheap for a mansion in Brookline in 1990. But in 1990, 300,000 was not 300,000 if you understand what I mean because of inflation. Inflation adjusted. So a lot of people, in millennials specifically and Gen Z, they're so brain dead these days with their whole language of the poor. It's completely clouded their basic understanding of how inflation works, which is like, hey, did you know when Warren Buffett was 5 years old, the freaking candy bars were maybe 1 cent? Oh, candy bars today are $3. Oh, you see what I mean? It's so language of the poor, which is like every generation they're gonna bitch about costs. That's what you're gonna understand. Every generation there's the haves and the have-nots. Just like you see rich people in this generation, you see poor people in previous generations. In fact, the people who didn't save and the people who did spend recklessly are today's seniors who are now working multiple jobs just to get by. Because why? They did not plan for retirement. They lived it up. They spent and they spent. They took their kids on vacation. They didn't learn how to invest back when shit was cheap and easy to buy. So you say. So this language of the poor has got to stop because you can't keep saying every generation had it better than you because every generation actually had it worse than you because of technology. Today we have tools, we have access with unprecedented access to knowledge. So I'm so sick and tired specifically of Gen Z and millennials saying, we can't. What do you mean you can't? ChatGPT will do pretty much 90% of the work for you. All you got to do is just do it.